My name is Joseph Jacob. You are watching Writing Tips. The first tip is spelling correctly is very important for you to succeed as a writer. It doesn't matter the importance of your write-up. If what you've written are littered with words wrongly spelled, it will surely distract from the message you are trying to convey. So try as much as possible to spell words you intend to use correctly. But what if you are having challenge in spelling English words correctly? Don't bother. There is a link I dropped at the comment section of this video. Just click on it. It will take you to a series of videos we've made that will help you to learn the rules of spelling English words. The second tip for today is to punctuate appropriately. Punctuation is very similar to spelling correctly because if you fail to punctuate or if you punctuate wrongly, it can pass the wrong information to the person reading what you've written. When you talk to someone, there are things you do to help the person understand and feel what you are saying. For instance, you stress certain words, you pause where necessary, and you do change the pitch of your voice. All these things you do, most times unconsciously, helps your listener to understand what you are saying. But when you write, how will you tell the person reading your write-up where to stop and how long to stop? How will your reader know that a particular word was an exclamation? The only way to do all these is by punctuating the write-up. No wonder the Collins English Dictionary defines punctuation as the use of symbols such as full stops or periods, commas or question marks to divide written words into sentences and clauses. Here are some of the punctuation marks we'll give attention to. Full stop, comma, question mark, exclamation mark, quotation mark, colon, semicolon, slash, ellipsis, bracket, apostrophe, hyphen, and dash. For this video, we'll focus on the use of capital letters. You'll notice that I didn't mention capital letters in these punctuation marks. No wonder capital letters are often overlooked when discussing punctuation. Nevertheless, many people still find it difficult to know when to use a capital letter and when not to do so. If you do have such challenge, today you will say goodbye to it because this video will leave no stone unturned as regards to when to use capital letters. Let's consider areas or places we need to use capital letters when writing. The first one is personal names. When we are writing people's names, we need to start each of the names with capital letters. Example, Friday Jacobson, Bill Clinton, Anthony Joshua. You'll notice that the first letters in these names were written in capital letters. Most times, names do go with titles like Mr., Miss, Mrs. The first letter of these titles should also be written in capital letters. Here are some examples. Mr. Paul Cook, Mrs. Ngozi, Dr. Frank Arthur, King Williams David, President Woodrow Wilson. You will notice that the M or the D or the K or the P in these examples were written in capital letters. Let's go to the next one, geographic names. The first one is continents. When writing continents, whether it is North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, the first letter must be capital. If it has two words, as in the case of North America and South America, the N and the A and the S and the A that start each of the words must be written in capital letters. The second thing you need to bear in mind about geographic names is countries. When we are writing countries, whether it is Finland, Japan, Peru, Panama, New Zealand, or Kenya, no matter the country we are writing, we need to spell the country in such a way that the first letter will be in capital. Most countries do have states or what is called provinces. Whether they are called states or provinces, it's important we start them with capital letters. My first example here is Abia State. Abia State is in Nigeria. We have Texas in America. We also have Karnataka in India. All these are examples of states, and they must begin with a capital letter. The next one is cities. When we are writing the names of cities, we need to start with a capital letter. Helsinki is a very big city in Finland. You can see that it starts with a capital letter H. Lagos is a very big city in Nigeria. It starts with capital letter L. Tokyo starts with capital letter T, and it's a very big city in Japan. The next one is compass direction. When we say compass, we are talking about the four cardinal points of the earth. That is the north, the south, the east, and the west. When we are using this compass direction as a definite name of a section, we must write them in capital letters. For example, you have Southeast Nigeria. The south and the east starts with capital letters because we are referring to a name of a definite section of Nigeria. Another example is Eastern Europe. Another one is Northern Burundi. You'll notice that these compass directions we are written, their first letters we are written in capital letters. But then, when we are using the words north, south, east, and west for just direction, just to say a direction, we don't need to capitalize the first letter. Now, here's an example to explain what I mean. The canoe drifted south of the river. In this case, I'm not referring to a name of a definite section of a place. I'm only trying to give the direction of the canoe that drifted. You'll notice that the S is not written in capital letter. Let's go to calendar. All the months of the year, be it January, April, September, December, must start with capital letters. The days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, must also start with capital letters. We also have holidays within the calendar year. Whether it is a religious holiday or a political holiday or a national holiday, no matter the type of holiday it is, we'll write these holidays in capital letter. I have three examples here. Labor Day, Independence Day, New Year. These are examples of holidays, and they are written, their first letters are in capital. The next one is special events. From time to time, there are special events that take place in the world. When we are referring to such special events, we should write their first letters in capital. I have two examples here. World Cup and Olympic Games. You'll notice that the first letter of each word is written in capital letter. Historical events or historical periods are also another example of where we need to capitalize the first letter of a word. When you're referring to historical periods like the Middle Ages, the M and the A must be written in capital. Events that made history, like the Belgian Women Conference or World War II, must also be written in capital letters. That is, their first letters of the words must be written in capital. But then we have seasons. In the part of Africa where I come from, we do have harmattan, rainy, and dry seasons. In some other parts of the world, we do have seasons like winter, summer, autumn, and spring. When we are referring to these seasons, we start with small letters. We don't capitalize their first letters. No, we write them in small letters. Let's look at institutional names. Whether they are government institutions or they are businesses or they are schools, the first letters in the major words of the names are to be capitalized. For example, let's look at institutions and government bodies. We have United Nations Organization, World Health Organization, Secondary Education Management Board. This is a board in my state that oversees secondary education. I also have here the World Bank. You'll notice that all of these words have the first letters of each word capitalized. Let's look at business names. Examples I have here are Shell Chemicals, Airtel Networks Limited, Samsung Electronics Co. Limited. You still notice the capitalization of the first letters of each word. Let's look at schools. We have Luxmundi University, Harvard University, Alto University, Community High School, Isieke. These are institutions of learning, and the first letters of each word in their names are capitalized. Let's talk about religion. You know, religion is about worship to God. So when we are mentioning deities of religion, we capitalize the first letter of the words. Examples: Jehovah, Jesus Christ, Messiah, God, Allah, Kami, Yahweh. In religion, we also have different faiths. And when we are writing these faiths, we need to also capitalize the first letter. Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam, etc. Remember, within Christianity, we have different denominations. Within Judaism, we also have different denominations. Same applies to other forms of religion. So when you are specifying denomination, it's also important that you capitalize the first letter of the name. For example, we have Jehovah's Witnesses, Methodist Church, Sunni Islam, Shia Islam, Masorti. Now let's give attention to common nouns. You and I know that common nouns are nouns that we don't capitalize unless they are starting the sentence. We now capitalize the first letter of the word. But there are instances where we need to capitalize common nouns. These occur when they are part of a name. For example, common nouns like ocean, school, river are not to be capitalized in a sentence. But when they are part of a name, they are capitalized. Look at these examples: Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, River Niger, Technical School, Aba. You'll notice that the ocean in the first two examples had the O capitalized. The river Niger combined together is the name of the river. So the river there, the R, needs to be capitalized. The same thing applies to the two words technical and school. They can still be written in small letters, but because they are now part of a name of a school, their first letters are written in capital letters. Now look at these two examples that will drive home the point more. The ship was attacked by pirates south of the ocean. You will notice that the south here is in small letter S because I'm just referring to a direction. But the main word we want to take here is ocean as well. You'll notice that the ocean is written in small letter because it is not part of a name. Now, look at the second example. The ship was attacked by pirates south of the Atlantic Ocean. Because the ocean has now been written together with Atlantic, which makes it a name, the O in the ocean is now capitalized. Let's proceed to family relations. Whenever we say family relations, words like brother, uncle, aunt, sister comes to mind. And you know those words are not capitalized. But when they precede a name, they are written in capital letters. That is, their first letter is written in capital. These examples will make it clearer. I will come with my younger brother. Our word of interest here is brother, and you will notice that the B is small letter B. Now look at the second example. I will come with brother Frank. Because I've now attached a name to the brother, the B becomes a capital B. Look at another example. I heard that my uncle will come for the dinner. Our word of interest here is uncle. And you'll notice that the U is written in small letter. But look at this example. I heard that Uncle Smith will come for the dinner. Because I've attached a proper name to it, the uncle, the U, is now written in capital. But don't capitalize when it follows a possessive noun or pronoun. For example, Aunt's uncle will grace the occasion. Because of the possessive noun, Aunt's uncle, you'll notice that the uncle is now in small u. The second example, Engineer Stephen is his uncle. You'll notice also that the uncle in this case is also written in small letter u. Now, let's talk about compound words. Compound words are two or more words brought together with a hyphen separating them. And why these words do cause problem is because sometimes one or two of the words in the compound word should be written in capital letters. So the question now is, will all the components of the compound word be written in capital letter? The answer is no. Look at this example. Anti-American. Anti-American is a compound word. And we know that the word American must start with a capital A. Now the question is, should the anti, the A in the anti, be also written as a capital A? Look at this example. He was deported for his anti-American sermons. Our word of focus here is anti-American. You will notice that the A in the anti remains a small letter, but the American, the A in the American is capitalized. That is the right way to do it. Another example is non-African. This policy favors non-African companies. The N in the non is in small letter, but African, as usual, the A is in capital letter. Another example, God-given rights. Fundamental human rights are God-given rights. So you'll notice that it's only the God, the G in the God, that is written in capital letter. So when you are dealing with compound words, deal with them individually. Don't because one of the words in the compound word is in capital, then you assume that the whole of them should be in capital. No. Deal with them individually. The ones that should be capitalized, capitalize them. The ones that should not be capitalized, don't capitalize them. Let's go to the beginning of a sentence. This is the simplest. Whenever you are starting a sentence, no matter the word you are using, the first letter of the word should be written in capital letters. Example, my name is Joseph Jacob. You will notice that the M, my, is in capital. But if this my had appeared in the middle of a sentence, it will have been in small letter. Another example, you are watching writing tips. The Y in the U is written in capital because it's starting a sentence, a new sentence. Now, let's talk about the pronoun I. Wherever the pronoun I is used, it is written in capital letters. Whether it appeared in the beginning, in the end, or in the middle of a sentence, it must be written in capital letters. Here is an example. I will apply for the job. The I here appears in the beginning of the sentence, and it is written in capital letter. The second example, this little space cannot contain you and I. The I appear at the end of the sentence, yet it is still written in capital letter. Titles of books and other publications, movies, videos, whatever they are, music, they are the basic words, the major words of the titles, their first letters are written in capital letters. Let's look at some examples. Things fall apart. The T, F, and A are written in capital letters. You Never Know with Women, a very interesting novel written by James Hadley Chase. You'll notice that the with, the W, is written in small letter because it is not a major part of the name of the book. Others are written in capital letters. No orchid for Miss Blandish. The same thing applies to the F in the for. Half of a Yellow Sun, written by Adichie. You'll notice the of and the A are in normal small letters. We are the world. You'll notice that the we, the W in the we, is written in capital letter, and the next major word is world, and the W there is also written in capital letter. Let's look at proper adjective. You may be surprised to see proper adjective because we are familiar with proper nouns. We're often told about proper nouns, but what about proper adjectives? Well, proper adjectives are adjectives that are derived from proper nouns. And since proper nouns are written in capital letters, they too must be written in capital letters. The examples we have here are Christian. Christian comes from the proper noun Christ. European comes from Europe. African is gotten from Africa. Japanese is gotten from Japan. Shakespearean is gotten from Shakespeare. So when these proper nouns are transformed to proper adjectives, they also have their first letters capitalized. This is where we call it a day in today's video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it and you've learned one or two things. Our next video will focus on the proper use of full stop. Don't miss it. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.